Hey guys, my name is Dana.
And I'm Celeste. We chose to interview Dustin Oliver from the Wellness Center for this project.
So, Dustin Oliver, he is 28 years old and he graduated from App State with a strength and conditioning concentration. He works at the Wellness Center and has been for the past 2 to 3 years, and he is considered an exercise specialist. Dustin teaches 3 different classes: an action potential for post rehab programs for stroke survivors, kickboxing to slow the progression of Parkinson's disease, and also runs strength and conditioning programs with middle school and high school athletes. And he all does this at the Wellness Center. He also takes in interns and volunteers to sit in his class for learning experiences.
All right, so what led him to this position? Dustin used to play college football at North Carolina Wesleyan. He went in with a strength coach goal, but later discovered he wanted to go the PT route. He is now going to be attending Caldwell Community College for physical therapy assistance. It's sort of like a change of plans for him. He did want to do PT originally, but he discussed attending PTA school for a little while, doing that for however many years, and then eventually going on to become a full PT.
So we asked Dustin, what is your greatest accomplishment in this career as a leader? And then he said, in this position, helping an individual who was wheelchair bound and then being able to walk eventually was probably his most rewarding accomplishment, because he got to see the progression, and that's why we're in this career, is to help others, and seeing someone become healthier and be able to live on their own without assistance is very rewarding. And regaining independence with rehab is another way for people to really get better in their life.
I'm also a student volunteer with Dustin. I've been at the Wellness Center since the summer, and I agree with his statements wholeheartedly, because I've worked with patients who were wheelchair bound, and they're also now able to walk and participate in many of the classes he offers. What are strategies that you use to improve productivity/performance of your employees? So Dustin said, setting the standard of what is expected. He describes it as, we are greater than ourselves. We're not here for each other and ourselves. We're here for other people, and that there is a greater purpose by working with those patients. He wants to work hard, and it makes the facility a better place for everyone to come into. He says also that he's not here for his coworkers. He's here for his patients.
So we asked him, how important are interpersonal relationships with employees to you? He said, it's important, but it's not the most important thing. It's good to be a team member, but it's also like, we're here for our patients, not our coworkers, and we want to help them. Like, yes, you want to build up your employees and your coworkers, but in the end, you're trying to help someone that's paying to come there and get better. So it's more about the patient than the coworker.
How do you encourage team building among students, like interns/volunteers? So Dustin does a great job of this. He always helps us realize why we are here at the Wellness Center, and it's for the greater picture of the patient care and the improvements that come with it. He doesn't want the interns and volunteers to just sit and observe. He's very much like a hands-on approach. He wants us to engage with the patient directly and work with him in those classes. He does a great job of engaging us and teaching us why we do certain things in those classes. For instance, like, we hold belts to stabilize patients who might be at high risk of falling, and we also lead and for example, in the kickboxing class they offer, we lead certain stations. So we stand around each station and have the patients come around to each of us. And he also really emphasized that we might be in that position one day if we choose to go exercise specialist route, or even if we want to be PT, PTA.
So we asked him what your biggest challenges and rewards that you face. He said some of his challenges were that you deal with so many different types of personalities, and takes a mental toll on you because you have to change from being with a patient that is very engaged and like wants to get better, and then you deal with a patient that is very quiet and is more like, I really don't want to be here, and they don't want to try. So you kind of have to change up how you approach different people. Um, he said some are very negative and have no appreciation, and that's when you start to like question yourself, like, am I doing this right, and why am I continuing to do this even when they're not appreciating the service I'm giving them. Some of the rewards he said were that patients that show appreciation, it makes it worthwhile for his job. Like, yes, I'm here for a reason because I'm actually making an impact and they're actually making progress and appreciating it. His favorite is working with athletes because he gets to relate to them because he was an athlete. And he also loves to see the progression with his stroke patients and his not kickboxing, with the
Action potential,
yeah.
The action potential class. All right, so what past experiences can you bring to the job? His number one thing was playing college football at North Carolina Wesleyan. He said the hours were very demanding, but it helped form discipline and selflessness. Being around a team helps with that. And the most selfless position you have to be in, and you learn that from playing a team sport. We both played team sports, and I agree with that. And number two, he had many injuries throughout the years. He broke about 30 plus bones from competitive motocross racing. He started from when he was 5 years old until he was a senior in high school. And over the time when he went to therapy for it, he learned the processes from having all those injuries himself.
And we also asked him what are your strengths and weaknesses in regards to your position. He said he lacks empathy towards coworkers. He doesn't give them like the benefit of the doubt when they're not working as hard as they should be. He's more like, you need to be on top of your stuff, and like that's your problem. So he doesn't really understand or doesn't give empathy towards them, like, oh, you're having a bad day. He's more like, you always need to be on your game. He holds them to like a higher standard and expects to lift themselves up instead of him being like, hey, what's going on? Can I help you? What can I do? So he said he definitely lacks in that category. For his strengths, has very much, I'm so sorry. He has a lot of work ethic and compassion, and it shows that he's here for a reason and is always willing to take on like new patients. He never says no and always goes above and beyond what his job description is and wants to exceed his expectations from his higher ups. Is that everything? That's everything.
That's everything.
Okay, right. So that's all about Dustin Oliver. He was a great person to talk to, and definitely
great person to work with too.
Yeah, he definitely helped me like kind of give a different perspective on like, oh, this could be another job option for me.
Yeah, especially for anyone who is considering PT or PTA. I know we both are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another way to get more experience in as well. So
sweet. Yeah. Thank y'all.